This conference will now be recorded.
I don't know if they do or not.
Yeah, he's asked me if we need to order stuff, and I was like, yeah, just get me your license number, and they never, ever, yeah. I guess I just assumed they did because when John did the other one, that's the first thing they went for.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
it's
assume they do, but
But over there, you would think they
Isn't it
would
like
be
a
easier
storage
to
area?
get.
is that still Madison County?
You're the state liquor store.
Yes, but you're not.
Oh, really?
I think he's
That's
just
more, well, the population of those. Because they're all the population.
Then does Twin Bridges have
Are we
one?
starting?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Personnel second.
That says 6:10.
It's 16 now.
You posted it today.
I had shared Jason. Oh, no. Is this taken right from the first? I believe so. Here's another one.
So I just sent everyone an email with some correspondence with Colette from Great West about the other well. The antelope or
Yeah,
whatever, I was saying, yeah.
Okay. I think now.
Huh?
I think we-
Yes. Well, not, yeah,
I have it.
yeah. No, you should have it. They sent it like 15 minutes ago.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. We will open the meeting. 6:18. Roll call on commission. Commissioner John Way.
Here.
Commissioner Christy Minton. Commissioner Nikki Hankin. Here. Commissioner Corey Hardy.
Here.
And I'm Mayor Lisa Roberts. Here we are. So let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we will make a call for public comment on non-agenda items.
I have something. Marla Smith, the transparency that we were all guaranteed at the first of the year that would happen with this new commission, it seems to be lacking. Nothing in the packet for today's meeting. I think it went in at like 2:30. And then reaching out and asking questions, it seems like some of the commissioners don't even really have a lot of information.
All right, so the schedule matters. Consideration of the well house project additive alternate to the bid estimate. So you'll see an email that was provided by Jesse Novak today at 4:45 p.m. This goes over what Colette presented at the last public meeting, which was that the test well was looking better to produce more than well number 4. And so they would like to stop developing well number 4 and develop well number 5. So we are looking at approximately 200 gallons per minute. Is that correct,
180.
180 versus 100?
Yep.
Okay, so,
And, like, there is an option for another 65 there, shallower. We have another test well off to the side. That it was 75 or something. So I mean, at a later date or something, that could also maybe come into play too.
And that one's not in the same aquifer, Eric.
It is not. They do not top. It's a lot shallower.
so at some point that could be brought
At
online.
some point, that could be
Brought
added to.
online. Okay, so what we are looking at, so if you look down at the budget portion, for him, that Jesse lined out, is that, so the added alternate would add $232,000 and, or excuse me, $232,350 would be added to the budget, but $125,200 would come back out of the budget because they're gonna deduct that from well number 4, so. Everyone following with that, okay. So their other portion that we are looking at is we have to figure out how to get across Golf Course Drive. So there's the option for the ordinance calls for, and it's on the agenda next Tuesday, the ordinance through the county to work in the county right of way requires it to be bored through. Does not make an exception for because of the way the law is written. However, we have submitted a waiver that will be under consideration on the commissioner's next agenda item. So that is the bit of the part that is the unknown. Do we have to bore through or can we cut across the road?
So that'll change this more once we know that.
Yes, and I think in Colette's thing she had for boring under would be $32,000. Does that sound familiar
Yep.
from what she said? So that's a bit of the unknown of what method is allowed.
Can I just get
And how
into
much
that a
would-
minute?
How much would it cost if we just dig it through, if we get the?
It's right there, and that is,
Okay.
the 15,000. So,
So if you're curious why we're thinking about going across the road, when they located all the fiber and all that, it's loaded all the way down there, just right beside the pipe. And also we would end up taking out the rodeo grounds fence. They just put up ours, put it back up and all that. So we are wanting to go across the road and down.
Yeah.
To,
and that's the case that we need to make to the county because there's no exception for it's gonna cost us more money. Like that, it's not, we have to determine that there's a hardship and the hardship is that is going to affect all of that, potentially have an adverse effect on all of that existing infrastructure that's in the right of
if
way.
you remember when they bored into the main, I wasn't here then, in 2014, I'm guessing you guys were.
Yeah.
They bored into the main, it's right in that whole area right
Remember
there.
when we shut water down and they had the boil alert and then they had to go house to house and so that was, Eric's got he found some good pictures.
Yeah, I got the
So,
PowerPoint.
So we just want to avoid, so that's the case we're trying to make to the county commission. And it's not necessarily that they're trying to work against us, it's that they have to follow the law that they have. So that's where we're trying to,
At
work
what
that.
point do we not put some of this on Great West for not doing a thorough job?
And then like,
Well, I think we can talk about that, I guess, when we're trying to complete our task tonight is, do we want to do this additive alternate? Which we're going to, when we're looking at cost per gallons per minute, or it's just a way better, if you look at it.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. So unfortunately, we don't have really much of a decision. So do we want it, so our decision tonight is add the additive alternate and go with well number
Then
5?
do we have to have another meeting after the county decides what they're gonna do?
No, they'll just, it'll just be what it is.
It'll just be
more if we go.
Yeah, yeah, so,
Well,
It's gonna be
so I have a question, may I ask it?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
So when you're talking about that fiber, those optics, you know, if you do something and you hit those, you're gonna have a lot more extra cost than anything you're talking about here.
Sure, so go to the county commissioners meeting on Tuesday and plead our case for us. Yeah,
For you, yes.
so we need a little help. So that is what, it's not that it's gonna cost us more money, is that the potential for it to be a greater, is greater. So, that's where we're at. So you can see that the shortfall is $20,000 if it's a cut across. If we have to bore it out, I think it was another 20, yeah. So Colette did mention, I think, at the meeting that we were at, last Thursday, was that, that there's one of the grants, the RRG through the DNRC. We could potentially move that funding from the storage tank to this. So is it cutting off 10 inches of the blanket and putting it at the bottom? Yeah, but that's where we're at. So, so unfortunately, I think we're in between a rock and a hard place. That we've already started this project. We want to see it to completion.
It's a no-brainer, just wonder how many more times we're gonna be in the same.
Oh, trust me, I have my
So-
grumpiness about Great West.
Okay.
But that's,
Can I just,
that's not.
That's
I'm not defending nor anything. But right here, right now is gotta be the 5th time our map has bit us in the ass, our old map.
Yeah, those were just
The
brand new.
5th time this thing, one downtown. I mean, I could go on and on.
So maybe we put some resources to.
They can only design with the information we have.
Yeah.
I'm not, you guys can, that's your choice,
Yeah.
but they can only do with what they have,
The information
I'm
they're
not-
providing, yeah. So, okay, thank you.
in all fairness.
Sure, I reached out, I sent a letter, some correspondence with Colette regarding the pronghorn well, and she's like, I reached out to Dan, who just retired from Great West. He didn't know anything about it, that it had been initially considered during this whole entire, process, so, they've had
That's the next agenda item.
okay, all right, we'll talk.
Yeah, okay, so I guess.
So we just need a motion to approve the additive alternative 1, correct?
Yes,
So moved.
Second.
call the vote. Commissioner Way,
Yeah,
Commissioner Ranson,
Aye.
Commissioner Hankins, Commissioner Hardy.
Aye.
Great, okay, our next order of business, give you a little map. So we can see where we're all at. Thank you, you bet. So in the same preliminary engineering report that the well house project was born out of, the storage tank, water storage tank project was born out of, okay? So that all came out of that 2024 report. Where the storage tank process is that we've gotten funding through CDGB, MSET, SRF, ABCD, LMNOP, whatever. We have a funding set up through those different funding agencies. The task at hand for this is to secure land acquisition. This was part of the report that, you see the yellow area. This is where we need to acquire land for the storage tank to go. And that is due to the elevation. And so that was it. So that is what I've been working on. I've contacted this landowner, and it was like, well, how much is it worth? Well, it's hard to say, even from being a realtor, because it's not like just a residential lot. So I reached out to one appraiser. They had said, it's not a residential lot, you're gonna need a commercial appraiser. So you'll see this email is from Dan Wheeler. He's a commercial appraiser out of Twin Bridges. And he kind of walks through his process of what he would have to do. So he would actually have to appraise that whole parcel up there and then come up with a price per acre and then assign that a value. And so that is what the landowner is asking for us to do to continue the negotiation. So we have a full understanding of what the piece of property is worth.
Is this,
So it's, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
is this what Shea Barker was talking about? There's already a concrete.
No. So this would be a totally vacant piece of land, adjacent to where our current water tank is, the water tank that went in 1996.
Okay,
Because it was determined that if we can use the same transmission line, the same distribution water lines, that it's gonna be most cost effective. And if we can gain elevation even from our current tank, that would be better for fire suppression and water pressure.
because I have really good water pressure.
Yeah, so we don't want to lose it. So, and then the question was asked, and I think Colette misspoke is, because we do have the tank, the property over at Antelope Meadows, and I wasn't I wasn't a part of the commission or involved in the discussions when the PR happened. So, but as my understanding, it was considered, but it's because of the elevation that it is. And the reason being, if it was a flat piece of land, it would be totally different, but it's got, this huge concrete tank on it that, the concrete's probably 50 years old. And concrete does have,
Demolition, everything. to start.
yeah. So what would that take?
I did not find that anywhere in that first. Anything talked about it on the web.
Okay, I think I don't know, Corey,
Yeah, for a fact, it was talked about at some point, and they're like, that's not an option, and it just got completely taken off the table. Joel, whatever his name was, our,
Sure.
Yeah.
was our,
who has since retired.
yeah, and Colette's just like, we don't know anything about whether it was discussed or this is the first we've heard of it, which I think is absurd. Because if I remember it.
I watched the meeting today, but it was mentioned in a minute, correct, but it was brought up, but it was still said it was not a viable option. And he said you would want to put your new holding tank as close to your old one as you can because there's already the infrastructure there.
Yeah,
The transition.
But no real, again,
But no
reason.
documentation.
and then the meeting after.
But in the minutes, it says that we should put it there.
But the minutes are incorrect. It's
She doesn't
it's
really-
super hard to read, to listen to that meeting and keep track with it, but when I was following through it, the minutes looked like they were,
And that was 22.
okay.
So even if it was a good place to put a storage tank, it would have to be the same height as the one now
Yeah,
because of fire flow
For the
and
hydrants
all
and
of
stuff,
that.
yeah.
It's, even if you put it there, it would have to be the same height as what we have now.
I think, and the differential is what, 70 feet
It's,
elevation?
I'm not sure what it is, but it's,
I think that was-
you know,
So you'd have to
So,
gain some significant height, even if it was 30 feet, that's a significant amount to go up. So where we're at is that, to negotiate this land acquisition, and to operate in good faith with this landowner, they would like a survey, and a survey, and you can see here, is approximately $4,000. And so I just wanted to bring it to you to see if we can move forward with a survey to move forward in negotiating the land acquisition.
I don't have a problem with the $4,000 survey. I mean, we just had a survey done and it was $4,000 or $5,000 for a really small space. But is there any way to negotiate with the landowner to split the survey onto closing costs or something like that to where we
I
pay
think-
for it, and he takes the $2,000 off if and when we close on this property?
Sure, I think they're open to a lot,
Mhm.
up there, you know, I don't think the cost is the factor. I think just having a baseline of what it is worth, is where it's at.
Well,
So I'm-
and we don't want to jip anybody, and
Yeah.
obviously, we don't want to spend $1 more than we have to. but-
Sure, yeah. I think that would be certainly acceptable, so,
So you just need a motion to approve the $4,000 for the survey, that's what you're asking.
yes.
I have a question though. So on the old PERS, I think it's 2022 or 2024, the location for the new glass line molded steel tank is literally across the street. Not on the other side of the street, or on the same side of the street. So I guess I'm just wondering who owns this location where the old tank, or where they proposed the old tank to be? Cause it's like on that inside corner.
Directly across the street.
Right. So why
I
are
think
there?
same ones.
So, yeah, and I don't think it is exactly that spot. It could be an acre.
There's not enough room. Is what Joe Pilcher told me there, because I brought that up to SIP. I'm like, look at this over here across the street. When this was talking up, and they told me there wasn't enough room.
Okay.
Because I think our current site is a half an acre, and we are looking to acquire a full acre.
I have a question, since Antelope Meadows was brought up, and it's been asked multiple times for documentation stating that Great West said that couldn't be used. If we're questioning what Great West is saying, then now we're not gonna question it. Where is their documentation that shows that that land cannot be used? And not just, in the last 2 months, we've heard a rabbit contaminated it, we've heard the concrete's not good, we've heard the level's not good, we've heard,
Where did they go there? in the
I won't tell
first
you what
place
I've
if
heard on
it's
the
not
outside,
right?
but just in this meeting, we've heard Great West didn't know about the land. So it's kind of, from back out here looking in, it's like, what are they saying that's right and what are they saying that's not right? Because
I
it
think
seems
there
like
was
they're
a
giving.
change in, leadership, and Joel has since retired, Dan McCauley has since retired. And so, with that, I will say, what is on the table right now is, do we want to do this? Because this location is based where all of our CDGB grant applications were for. All of that grant applications was based on this figure. So if you want to scrap all that and go back and look, and do spend more money on analyzing that other location, we can do that, if that's what you want to do.
What happens if it comes back more than what the town has to pay toward the land and then all those grants are
They're,
void because.
they're not, they wouldn't be void. So we would.
But they were based on the land you just said,
So they're based on this location.
the circled location,
The
not
close.
so much the land that is being appraised, right?
It's
Same.
based upon a land acquisition in this area.
Okay, so not the exact land that's getting appraised.
Well, and we have to, that's something that we will have to work with Dan and identify a location. It's not gonna be, exactly this. It's gonna be an acre in this area is worth X amount of money. That's what we're asking to be determined by the.
But that could be on someone else's property, not this landowner.
No, we're really working with one landowner.
I believe they're the same landowner that sold the original tank.
Well, it's the ranch has since changed hands.
Right.
It's the same part of the
Yes,
same
but-
entity, yeah,
Same.
so.
Yeah, and I've hit up the former mayor multiple times asking her about the land acquisition, because I don't go and build a structure or get everything done for building a structure and not own the property. It's like, that is completely backwards. And I'm just like, why is this not getting done? She's like, I've spoken with them at some point, but Your guess is as good as mine where she made it,
But
obviously.
if the grants were based on this piece of land,
Well, the grants were based on land acquisition. It says, and then in the budget, there's a line item for land acquisition.
right?
Yeah.
In that area.
In that area, yeah.
So if it's not this piece of land, it's gotta be another piece of land, or that grant's voided.
So the landowner up there, we're working with one landowner. They own
They own it all.
it all.
So it's literally our only option.
Yeah, so the other option, if that is, they're not agreeable, is we would have to find some kind of temporary solution, take down our tank that's there, rebuild it, and find a temporary solution for that, and then we build on the same site. So. So
But
that,
we can't do that because we have to have an active source.
yeah, I don't know the engineering behind that. I don't think that,
For
that's
fire
why this was,
suppression purposes.
Yeah.
So, and one more thing to just think about as far as tanks, where they're at, this and that, the size of the tank. Where we're at here in Ennis right now, DQ and all them require so much
Oh, it has
storage.
to be way bigger than the one we have.
Okay,
yeah,
Yeah,
they require so much, we're understored for
yeah,
that right now.
we're, so we need,
significantly bigger.
yeah, so it's, we're looking
Like
at,
250,000 more
yeah,
gallons.
so yeah, we
Like
currently have about 500,000.
533.
We're required, just at our population now, we're required to have 660. So we're 130 short. The new tank would hold about 700 and change.
720, yeah.
And is that gonna be adequate for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, that based on, their projections, yeah.
5 or 10 years.
And that old tank that probably goes back farther than the previous mayor to really get at sorting that thing out, but how, that tank doesn't have any volume anyway, does it?
No,
Yeah,
no, well, I actually was there and looked in it today, cut the lock and looked, and I was pretty shocked at how small it is. I mean, it's not 20 foot deep, maybe 25. I was like, oh, that's it, but
But that
Whatever.
put aside that lane.
that's why they went up there.
Because of
Fire
the
flow.
elevation.
Fire flow and all that.
So-
The more people you get, the more fire flow, and as you get everybody moving in, that all adds on to your system. So when you see somebody coming in, oh, we gotta do a water logic model, that's based on that information. And it's whole, if that makes sense. The fire flows and all that.
Yeah.
That's
So that
why I
may-
went up there.
That piece of land doesn't have a big enough tank on it now. If you fill it all in and cement it over the top, it wouldn't be high enough to make the elevation that you have to get the pressure.
Correct.
Besides of which,
No.
saving with the piping and so forth, to get this other one beside the tank you have now and have it all together for maintenance and the whole ball of wax.
And
Makes sense.
I
In
think
that commission meeting,
we're-
it said we could build up, but it would be very cost intensive to build up.
I couldn't even imagine putting a 720,000 gallon tank up 80 feet in there. I mean, 80, I would think more, but still, I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, you see them do it in Texas with those.
I was gonna say, like, this happens everywhere in big cities and stuff,
They do.
the giant water tanks up in the sky.
But
We're
but
getting
that's
off
not,
track. We're getting off
we're,
track.
we're past that, I think. We're committed to the direction that we have on paper. I personally, I think we need to, approve. the
Sounds like it's
4,000.
already negotiated, yeah.
Yeah, and we need to negotiate with the landowner to split the appraisal cost.
Okay, I will do my best.
Well,
But
I'm just wanting the appraisal cost first, and then is it gonna be, then we cost to do the boundary line addition, then we cost, then we have to pay. And so where is this money coming from for this land acquisition? And how much cost are we gonna be into it?
Yeah, and
Before
I
we
will have to bring
negotiate.
that all, I will have to bring that all to you. You guys will all have to approve all of that. So before anything happens, so.
So can we just walk through this real quick? If we, for some reason, we're able to use that piece of property at Antelope Meadows, how much savings would we look at?
Nikki, I have no idea.
But these are numbers that we should, I feel like
How are
Great
we
West
gonna
should have known 10 years ago when we all first started talking about this stuff.
Okay, those numbers could have been asked for in 2022.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I wasn't here in 2022.
That's when it should have all started, was like.
I'm just asking, do you want me to proceed with this land acquisition or not?
I think we have to.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I don't think we do all the variables.
I move to spend the $4,000 for the appraisal for the land acquisition and ask the mayor to negotiate half of that away at closing for the. on the
Or
property.
bring any contract to you.
Yeah,
Nice, I'll second.
Move to approve. Commissioner Ranson?
I don't feel like we have all the information. I know you guys keep saying that it's not viable, but there's nowhere that. says
Chrissy.
it's not viable.
You were on the commission when this project started.
I know.
Okay,
And
so
we
if
were
you
looking
wanted,
at
if you
animal
wanted that,
models.
if you wanted that information and you weren't provided it, why didn't you ask then?
Because I think it says that we were starting and going there. That's why I don't know.
I just remember, I mean, I was
Okay.
told by engineers that it was laid up on drywall or.
I am not an engineer, but knowing what I know
And I'm
now,
not saying the tank.
knowing what I
I'm
know
saying the
now,
land.
solid.
The difference is that it's not a vacant piece. If it was a vacant piece of land, we might be having a different discussion. But right now, there is a huge concrete, so you're looking at demolition and all of that cost. And then you're looking at a feasibility study to figure out if it's viable. Then you're looking at the transmission line that goes into town. There's a lot of other variables. So maybe there were so many and that's why it was immediately scrapped. I can't say that for sure, but that is where we're at. And then you're working, if you don't demo it, then you're working with concrete that's probably about 60 years old and over 60% of its lifespan.
Yeah, the new concrete water tower that's proposed has a lifespan of 40 years, is that correct?
No,
I
it's longer
remember
than
them
it.
saying
It's
100.
80 to 100.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're never gonna have to
Sealed
do
or
this again.
something.
40.
No, the way it's sealed or something.
Because Yellowstone's gonna blow.
Mirror lips to God's ear. Okay, Commissioner Benson. Call the vote.
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, I think when you stop and think about everything Lisa just brought up, all of the other studies you're gonna have to do and then lose out on not doing.
I don't even know how much this land is gonna cost.
But we can't speculate on analytics.
We don't know how much land's
You're
gonna cost.
discussing $4,000.
If you don't
It's gonna
feel
keep
comfortable,
going.
vote no. That's
Just
your
vote no.
prerogative.
That's-
We have to keep moving on this stuff, because 15 years ago, this stuff was brought to the commission that we needed to start working on it.
Yeah.
And we're still nowhere. I approved a new water tower before I left last time.
Okay, this is the same one.
I
You want me
know.
to keep working on it or no?
That's why I'm like, we have to do this stuff. I just think we're also in another money pit. And it's hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, but nothing's ever planned right. And then we get in,
That we have
we're
a
now,
plan.
what, we're 100 and some thousand more on this because, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
know.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's why I don't know.
I inherited this is the project that you approved in 2022. So do you think is it a good idea to move forward or not?
I think we have to move forward.
Okay.
I don't think that Great
So
West
just-
is good or the ideas are good. But we have to move
Okay,
forward.
okay. So yay,
Aye.
so yay, nay.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes. That concludes our meeting.
Move to adjourn. Second. I.
Huh?
Not to.
Did I send the right one? Did you get it?
Yeah, no, I don't know, it's not working.
I got a, delivery status notification
Let
failure.
me finish. Let me finish the thought. Yes.
I'm gonna have to change let me do it in my phone. Do I not have your? I have two addresses on here for you, and neither one of them.
I mean, the first one I didn't get nothing, at least